Second week of March 2017. The mystifying search for the truth about the existence of Planet X Nibiru is one that continues, in spite of every effort by the elite to dismiss its existence as hearsay and innuendo. There is, of course, a reason why this story does not fade into the sunset, and it has to do with NASA's inability to acknowledge what so many already know, that the Earth's weather and the warming of our planet is not due to man's lack of stewardship in controlling the amount of carbon dioxide that is going into the atmosphere. Rather, it is something much more complex, but just as devastating to our planet: the passage of a brown dwarf star and the accompanying system of planets, one of which is at least 10 times the diameter of Earth, is heating up our Earth's core and warming the Earth. So in order to save face, the space agency wants you as a citizen observer to find the elusive planet that is out there somewhere within the confines of our solar system. But then again, maybe there are some within the elite community who do not want the story to go away because they actually believe it does exist and will return once again, just as it did more than 3 millennia ago. Take a look at this European banknote. Do you see anything odd about its design? The orange slanted elliptical orbit portrayed on this European banknote is believed to be a rendering of the intersecting orbit of Nibiru as it passes into our inner solar system every 3,600 years. If Nibiru is nothing more than modern mythology, then how did its orbit make it into the engraved posterity of this legal tender? Somewhere out there, high in the secretive upper stratosphere of the international banking cartels, there must be a number of elites who believe and have solid evidence that Planet X Nibiru is indeed real. Why else would they emblazon its returning orbital trajectory onto this banknote? More than just speculation, the engraved art on this note stands as a telltale sign that the people of this world are not being told the truth about this rogue celestial body and the havoc it brings when it periodically returns to our inner solar system every 3,600 years. So now we have a worldwide phenomenon taking place which involves the ongoing issue of second sun sightings. The sightings have been documented for about a decade now, but became more prominent beginning in 2011. I've included a number of these sightings in my video presentations. So as it turns out, we have hundreds, maybe thousands of people who do not know one another, who have never met, who dwell in scattered locations around the world, who just happen to be involved in a particular excursion or event in the outdoors, who clearly see a second sun next to our sun, and then record or photograph what they see and post it on the internet for others to see and comment on. Some, but not all of the material that is posted is serious raw evidence that something is situated smack dab in the midst of our solar system, and therefore you, the viewer, should be paying careful attention to this object or objects in our backyard. It really does seem as though the second sun sightings are now becoming another aspect of the new normal in our society. So as you can see, this story is not going away because the truth cannot be eliminated, much as the elites and the trolls who frequent these channels would wish it so. I will continue to post stories and publish videos on this very important topic, and I will continue to urgently urge others to do their own research and to do the same. Let's examine some of the strange sky phenomena that is escalating worldwide. One of our Facebook followers posted this image recently. I suppose he was trying to convey a message about how our skies used to look as compared to how they look today. This is how our skies look today. A cobweb of chemicals surrounding the sun. The concealment of the truth, as depicted in this recent image from South Carolina. Not only are the skies looking peculiar, cloaked in artificial clouds, but the atmosphere is changing colors. On February 20th, CBS News reported that purple rain had lit up the sky over Houston, Texas, as shown in this composite of images. But it wasn't just Houston that experienced this phenomenon. It has been seen in a number of locations just recently, including my own backyard. Is the chemical spraying of the atmosphere causing the color discoloration in our sky? Or is this the presence of iron oxide particles from a planet that is cloaked in a red iron oxide dust? Regardless of the cause, it is affecting our atmosphere in ways which may be harmful to both plants and animals. Which brings us to this sad and disturbing observation of what a warming planet can do to the creatures that dwell therein. Hundreds of dead flying foxbats were found on the ground and hanging from tree branches in Australia on Sunday, February the 12th, as this video uploaded by a local animal rescue service shows. According to the Australian Bureau of Meteorology, the temperatures rose to 46.2 degrees Celsius, which is 115 degrees Fahrenheit, on February the 11th and the 12th. The Earth's crust continues to warm, and so we must question why this is happening. Are humans to blame, or is something else causing these sudden and drastic events to take place? How about the phenomenal double sun halos that are now appearing, such as this one that astonished onlookers on February the 18th from Seville Valley in Colombia?
Sí, allá hay otra circunferencia más grande y después sigue esta, la otra.
The double sun phenomena is becoming more pronounced as the Nemesis star system gets closer and begins its ascent above the ecliptic orbital plane. In this screen capture from the Alaska Observatory on February 17th, there are two suns visible. Can you decipher the difference in their dimensions and the color variables? Then there is this mesmerizing capture from Grand Isle, Louisiana, photographed by a Facebook follower, who acknowledges that the second sun was visible for nearly 7 minutes prior to sunset. And this captured in Canada the first week of March. The presence of a companion star to our sun cannot be any more clear than what we have seen here. Is it any wonder why they are chemtrailing the skies in front of our sun? It is quite apparent that they are attempting to hide something. So there is ample evidence to substantiate the existence of a Nemesis star and a series of planetary bodies that are moving in an elliptical orbit around our sun at this time. NASA is finally admitting to their existence, although they cannot provide a truthful location for fear of inciting mass panic among those who have no knowledge of its existence. That brings us to another important topic that involves the UFO community. In August of 2015, Nibiru, depicted as a winged globe, suddenly appeared on the Google Sky Map after having been blacked out for some time. This was reported by a website called UFO Sightings Daily, which is coordinated by a fellow called Scott Warren, who previously was affiliated with the United States Air Force in the Strategic Air Command flight line. Mr. Waring acknowledged that Nibiru has been found, and if you go to the URL shown here, it will take you to the page that shows the position of the comet planet in real time. So let's click on the URL, and as you can see, there is the object of interest in plain view. The Google page has been visible now for quite some time. It has not been removed, or has it been replaced with any other image other than what you see here. The Sumerians mentioned a 12th planet called Nibiru, one whose elliptical orbit brought it close to the Earth for a brief period about every 3,600 years. According to interpretation, the Sumerians referred to it as the 12th planet because they considered that there were 8 planets plus Pluto, our sun, and the moon. So does it look like it's on its way here? If you accept the Google Sky Map as evidential proof, then it must be true. Otherwise, the elite have devised an elaborate scheme to mislead the public in their search for its existence. Finally, there is a topic that has garnered a great deal of attention since the fall of 2016, and that has to do with the sudden and immense brightness of Venus in the western sky. One need not be a professional stargazer to have noticed the unusually bright point of light illuminating the heavens. Venus, the scorching sulfurous planet discovered by Galileo in 1610, has been a nocturnal companion to anyone peering into the cosmos this winter. But why Venus has markedly brightened is a question that has allegedly baffled some of society's brightest minds, including many prominent astronomers and astrophysicists. A growing consensus among the astronomical community is that Nibiru's lateral position relative to the inner solar system is responsible for the increased surface temperature of the dark star's sphere of influence. In retrospect, there is a correlation between the heating and the brightness of the inner planets. It certainly makes a great deal of sense. Once Nibiru completed its first cycle around the dark side of the sun and achieved breakaway speed, Venus became much brighter. Several factors are responsible for this dramatic change. First, although the brown dwarf star at the center of the Nibiru system casts very little visible light of its own, it does reflect and refract light directed at it, shedding light at 1600 angstroms, similar to the amount of light seen in this image of our sun. In essence, it acts like a prism, largely because of the dense clouds of red iron dust. Light from the sun strikes Nibiru and is reflected at Venus, causing an increase in luminosity. Now, I have observed Venus every night this winter, weather permitting, actually dating back to November of 2016. And I've discovered an alarming truth. Over a period of 120 days, Venus has increased in brightness by a magnitude of 50. This marked change should have triggered a worldwide response, and yet the media hasn't uttered a significant word about the unusual change in its luminosity, other than to say that the planet is reflecting light back into space as a result of its thick cloud formations. Now, if you knew very little about the planets in our solar system, you would easily accept that conclusion as scientific fact. But imagine if a distant star suddenly exploded in space. Its visibility would mirror how Venus now appears in the sky. This is unprecedented. People deserve to know. Very soon Venus will be as bright as a full moon in a cloudless sky. It's happening before our eyes, and it is something that even science cannot fully explain in terms that are easily accepted by a keen observer. But here is something that can be understood by those who gaze at this planet in wonder and amazement. Nibiru's dynamic interaction with our own sun is resulting in geothermic instability, generating enough electricity to increase surface temperature on all planets in the solar system, including Earth, resulting in geothermic instability. This conductive heating is a logical reason why Venus has brightened. Think of a fire. The hotter it gets, the brighter it gets. The same principle could very well apply in this case. Nibiru's transit through the inner solar system will likely cause Earth to brighten. We may see this happen this summer if predictions are accurate. Moreover, a 3-degree increase in global surface temperatures is not out of the question, which, if this were to occur, would plunge society back into the Dark Ages. As controversial as the topic of Planet X, Nibiru, and the Nemesis star system has become over these many years, it is a topic of great importance that has gained considerable attention in recent years with the ushering in of second sun sightings, strange phenomena appearing in the sky, erratic and unpredictable weather escalating worldwide, sudden and unexplained earth changes across the globe, massive animal deaths, and peculiar human behavior. All of this and much more is heralding in the days of sorrow that so many have dreaded will one day come to pass. It's a lesson in history that so many of us have forgotten, a repetitive cycle of our inability to learn from our mistakes. It can be summarized in one sentence. Those who do not learn from the past are condemned to repeat it. And therein lies an explanation for what we are now seeing take place on our planet. Be sure to follow our Facebook page for the latest on Planet X news, as well as updates pertaining to Earth and climate change events worldwide. In the meantime, stay safe and keep looking to the skies.